So today I'm going to show you how to fix the current on screen code, and it involves the air compressor under here. So let's get on with it. So you need to come under the car, under the passenger side rear wheel. You'll see this box here, and in this box is these clips. So you've got a clip here, a clip here, a clip there, a clip there, and I believe a clip there. And then you've also got a H4 Allen there and a H4 Allen there. So what we're going to do is set the camera up here, get the Allens out the way first. So there's your two Allen bolts. So then we take the clips, undo all the clips, and then the bottom of the box will drop off. This last clip undone itself. Oh, it's not coming off. There we go. So that leaves us now with our compressor there. So you've got your plugs here and here. So that's your power, and this is all your control for your pressures and everything. And then the actual compressor itself, you've got a little bolt in there, 10mm, and another one there, 10mm. But I recommend firstly unplugging everything, because you don't want to be unplugging it whilst it's hanging off the car. So get your fingers on the plug, pop them out, they're fairly easy. And this one as well will come off the chassis, unplug that. And then this, I believe Land Rover usually zip tie it there, but not necessary, but we might put one back on there. And then before we do anything else, we're going to take some air pipes off as well. So what we're going to do is take that blue one off there, and then we've got to take two off the back. Up here somewhere there's two more air pipes up the back of the compressor, I believe, and they also need to come off. So all you need to get these off is push the connector in and pull the pipe out. So I'll get them done and I'll come back. So at the back, it's these two here that you want to take off. So now we're going to unbolt the 10mm through there and the 10mm at the back, which is pretty simple. So you need 10mm on an extension for this one. Here as well. And just hold on to it, and the whole compressor will come out just like that there. So that's your compressor unit, and then take that bolt out from the inside as well. Put them aside, don't lose them, and we'll take this in the garage and try and fix it. So now we got it on the bench. I believe the issue with this is the dryer unit. I've checked the solenoid for the exhaust, that's working fine. The air pipe is clear and the exhaust on the actual car is clear, so the only other thing I believe it can be is this dryer. So what we need to do is take this red pipe off, and to help you, you can use pliers. Don't grip the pipe, all we're doing is pushing down that red bit, pulling out that pipe, take that off out of the way. Then we're going to get a Phillips, and then what we're going to do, take this little Phillips screw out, and that holds the dryer in. And then you don't need to take the cage off to do this, but see down there you can see a little tab down in there. So what you have to do is spin the dryer and then give it a little wiggle, and it will pull that unit off. So this is the dryer. We're going to try and repair this first before we go replacing. So we need the Torx. I believe they are T30s. Torx bits. They are a T30, and we're going to take all of these T30s off. Now when you take this off, there is a spring inside as well, so when it comes off, just be wary. There is a spring, so it's not a strong, super strong spring, but just hold the end, else it will pop off and we'll undo it upwards. And then take our lid off, so there you can see our spring, and this, I believe, is what's causing the issue. See all this powdery stuff? I believe that's our issue. So from what I've read online, in here you've got little silica balls, and they take the moisture out of the air. Now over time, I have cleaned this out yesterday, and as you can see, look at all that dust in there still. So they break down and the dust clogs this, so we're going to take this out, clean it all out, and I've got a rebuild kit for it, which I'll show you now. So here's our rebuild kit from Air Seals, 4x4 Air Seals. There's the website. I think these are on eBay for like 19 quid or something. I'll link it in the description. But you get your 2 or 3 pads, which you'll see in there, and a new O-ring. And in here, in the bag, of little silica balls. So what we're going to do is get a little container, start taking this apart. Here's our container. So we've got to get this out. There is a little nib on there, so you can grab on that with a pair of pliers, pull that out. So there you can see is our seal, so we're going to be replacing that as well, the seal. As you can see here, you can see the dust is getting through. So there you've got a little filter which you can either clean, or we have got replacements, and there's your silica balls. So we're going to tip these out, and then if we filtered through these till we got to the bottom, you'd actually see, if I had a sieve, I might be able to show you, if you look and see if you can see the dust. See the dust coming off of that, and dust sat on top there. That is what's causing our problem. So we'll get a pick, get the bottom filter out there. So there's one down the bottom there. I wonder if you can push it up from the bottom. Yeah, there you go. So there is our bottom piece. As you can see, this thing is crusty. You can see where the silica ball's all been sat. So what we're going to do is clean this out, because there's a load of dust in it. We're going to clean this out, clean up all the parts, remember which way they came out, reassemble with the new parts. So here I've literally just got washing up liquid and water in a spray bottle. We're going to clean up the inside and the outside. Now you can buy these replacement units with all this stuff already in, but why would you do that if you can replace just the inners? So we're going to give it a clean, and before we put the actual compressor back in, we are going to give that a clean as well. Give that a bit of a clean in there. Just get it as clean and then as dry as we possibly can. You see that's a hell of a lot better in there. Clean that out nicely, and then make sure that's nice and dry. We'll let that air out a bit, and then we will get our new pieces here. So, although this bottom one is thicker, but there is three pads in here. It must be for the center of this. So I think this might actually be riveted in there, and this replaces that middle, but I don't think this will come out very easily. Oh, you can see how brittle that O-ring was there, it's just snapped. Yeah, so that's got a bit of filter in there, but I don't see a way of getting it out. So what I might do is just blow it out with an airline, clean it up the best I can, because I don't see a way getting that middle pad out of there. So we'll get the compressor on and we'll blow it out. Right, so we got that cleaned up. What we'll do is take our new O-ring, pop it on here. What I'm going to do is give it a little spritz of oil and make sure there's no crap and debris on it. And run it through a rag. Then pop it in. Seat the O-ring in. So there you go, the O-ring's in. Make sure you seat it in there properly, and then we're going to rebuild. So it was this metal piece first, that dropped in there. Make sure it sits nice and flat. Then we had one of these, so we're going to get our new ones, put that in there, make sure it sits down there nice. Then we got to get our silica balls and pour these in. Make them nicely double bagged. Now I'm pretty sure if you really were on a budget you could dry these old ones out, but this kit's only like 20 quid I think, so we're not going to bother. So tip these in, make sure they're all out, and then we add another filter piece, top piece which was that way up, spring, and then our top cap, which we will have to align with the pump. Make sure we've got that top cap oriented so it clips in, I believe, that way. Yep. Then we're going to do this up, put our Torx bolts back in, and then we've got one more seal to change. So try and do these up in a cross pattern so they're done up evenly, because there is a big O-ring in there. So once you've done all your screws up, there is one more seal to replace, and it is this one down on here. So you need to hook that out. You see these O-rings are so brittle. This is probably the original one. Give that a bit of a clean, and then pop our new O-ring on it. Sorry you guys can't see that. And then what I'm going to do is put a little bit of this soapy water on there, just so it doesn't catch when we put our dryer back on, which we can now do. So remember, the dryer goes on, and then when you push it down, it will then twist. So you can see in there, there's a little peg. Give it a wiggle back and forth, push it on, twist it, get that little screw on there. This will stop the dryer popping off when there's pressure in it, so make sure you put that screw back on, and then push the red airline in, pop that in, and that's that done. Easy as that. So now we can go bolt that back into the car and make sure it's all working and our code is gone. So I'll meet you back under the car. So we're back under the car. I'm going to try my best to bolt this in as quick as I can, because it's about to tip it down by the looks of it. So we'll put the left hand bolt in first, because it seems to be the more tricky one, and then we'll get the right one in. So hold your compressor up. I'm not going to do it up tight, just loose until we can get this other bolt in. And then Once you've got the other bolt in, go back and tighten this up. Just don't do it massively tight. And then it's just a case of reconnecting your two air pipes, which are here. So one of these is your exhaust and intake, and one of these is to the car. So pop them in, and then you want to give it a good push, which is difficult to film at the same time. But you want to give it a good push in, because you don't want these coming off. And then this one, and they have got a little nib on them, on the actual pipe, which is quite difficult to see on camera, but it stops you pushing it in too far. There we go. I'll double check the other one is in. Don't forget your blue one at this end. Again, a bit of a bugger to do at this angle. Push it in, give it a tug. We'll reconnect our plugs, which do actually slide into a little chassis clip here to keep them secure. I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to go and test it before we put it all back together with the cover. I knew what was causing this fault was because every time I tried to calibrate the suspension, it would throw the fault up, and sometimes when driving. So we'll start it up, let it build up air, and see if when I go to calibrate we get the fault. Just let that compressor run for a minute, and then on here we'll go to suspension, guided calibration, yes, and there we go, we've got the fault there still. So we'll do a little bit of digging and see why we've still got that fault. And there you have it, guys. All it took was a calibration on the Gap app, and now we have no suspension fault. And we get in there, see our suspension goes up. It's going to take a little bit of a while because I have been on and off the compressor. It then goes down, and I've recalibrated it so it all sits at the right height now. So that has now fixed our code, and I hope it helps you fix yours too, guys. So thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one.